students, myself Miss Rachna Jain, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government PG College, Rajgarh, Alwar. Today in this video, I will explain you the remaining text of the essay of studies written by Francis Bacon. So students, in the previous video, I have given you the brief introduction of Francis Bacon and his works. I repeat you for your convenience. Francis Bacon was born in 1561 in London. He was the youngest son of Sir Nicholas Bacon, the Lord Keeper of the Great Seal in Queen Elizabeth's reign. For some time he was educated privately, and then he got education at Trinity College, Cambridge, and after that he joined the Gray's Inn in 1576. He started his legal career in 1582 and became a member of Parliament in 1584. He devoted the remaining last 5 years of his life to literary, scientific, and philosophical works. He died in 1626. The major works of Francis Bacon were essays, The Advancement of Learning, Great New Atlantis, Maxims of the Law, The History of Henry VII. His essays represent even today the best examples of clarity and brevity. These lines have been taken from the essay of studies written by Francis Bacon. First of all, I tell you the word meaning of these lines. Crafty man. Crafty man means illiterate person, the persons without knowledge. Admire. Admire means to praise. Wise man means man of learning, scholars. Use means take advantage or utilize. Them is used for studies. Teach not their own use means do not instruct how studies can be utilized. Wisdom without them means the aspect of studies is not dealt by them. Above them means beyond their scope. And observation means watching. Here, the author is describing the different attitudes of different types of persons towards studies. In this essay, Bacon has so far discussed the functions of studies and the help they render in developing and cultivating talents and natural abilities of a person given to studies. In these famous lines, Bacon makes a very important but subtle observation. He distinguishes between a learned and a wise person. There are various kinds of persons who study books. They have different attitudes towards studies. For example, crafty, cunning, and mischievous persons look down upon studies because the knowledge gained through them is impracticable and hence useless for them. The foolish readers are easily and greatly impressed by the knowledge contained in the books, and so they simply respect and admire them. But the wise readers use the knowledge of the books to their advantage in their everyday life. The studies themselves do not teach and tell how they can put to use. It is beyond their scope. But a wise person, through a keen and careful observation, learns how to use them by blending the knowledge of books with the experience of life. Now I tell you the word meanings of these lines. Read means study. To contradict means to oppose. Confute means to contradict or to oppose. Take for granted means accepted. To find talk means to get the opportunity of talking about. Discourse means conversation. To weigh and consider means to carefully take into consideration all aspects in order to understand and form a sound opinion. These lines are full of great wisdom and maturity. In this essay, Bacon has described the functions of studies, the danger of devoting too much time to studies, desirability of blending the knowledge gained through the study of books with the practical experience of everyday life, and the attitudes towards studies of different kinds of persons who indulge in reading books. In these lines, Bacon advises about the real purpose of studies. We know that Bacon is a versatile genius. He has a keen insight into the affairs of men. Here, in these lines, Bacon speaks with the authority on the true purpose of studies. He advises his readers not to study books for only the purpose of contradicting and dismissing whatever they read as wrong or inferior to their own knowledge and wisdom. Similarly, he points out that it is equally wrong and absurd to believe and accept whatever they read in books. He also tells them that they should not study to make a show of their knowledge in their conversation. He exhorts his readers to study in the truest spirit, that is, he means to say, in order that they may cultivate the faculty of comprehension and independent judgment. So, in these lines which I have explained to you today, Bacon tells that study gives theoretical knowledge, experience gives practical knowledge. The combination of the two is needed for the harmonious development of mind and personality. Without experience, study can give too many directions that can confuse the mind of the people. The aim of study is to be able to think, to judge and consider properly, not to be confused or to be blind imitator or to be overconfident to the contradict others' points. So that's all for the day. Thank you for listening to my presentation. In the next video, I will discuss the remaining part of the essay. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.